What's up, y'all? Great Friday. I just want to testify right here. All it took, if we dating back as far as 2016, all it took was a few arrests, a few rides in the back of a police car, a little bit of time in jail, and I was fixed. I snapped right back into it. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even in jail long. I was in there a day, if that. You know what I'm saying? The process. And I was in a confined space for 2 weeks, 3 weeks but prior to jail. Get what I'm saying? I got out of that confined space. It was like a little uh, rehab center or something. You know what I'm saying? Well, if you don't do what they tell you to do, they drug you up, or you try to escape that bad boy, they gonna inject you with something. You're gonna pass out. Um, got out of there, went to go pick up a weapon of mine. They took me to jail, was in jail a day, got out, you know what I'm saying? And, outside of that, a few arrests prior to all of that, behind some petty stuff, some bogus stuff, some things that shouldn't have been called in. But, people are petty these days, and you'll see the color of my skin. You ain't got to say much to get a brother locked up. A brother ain't got to do much to get locked up. And I was fixed just like that. I didn't have a true jail experience, never had a true prison experience. And you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about when you in there for weeks, months, years. Nah, it didn't take all of that. I snapped right back into it when they was just like, hand over your money, hand over your pockets, what's in your pocket, get in this machine, scan, give you a band, give us your shoes, they give you the flip-flops. You know what I'm saying? They chain you up to a bench. You seeing inmates going in and out. People start sizing you up, asking you questions. Oh no, this is enough for me. This is enough for me. I don't think I should be here anyhow, but that's probably every person that's here. But it didn't take much. And because it didn't take much, I think more than once. I think more than twice. I think more than 3, 4, 5 times before I flip out on something or someone. You get what I'm saying? Like, I recently had a conversation with a close friend of mine. He's gonna see this. You know what I'm saying? And this has been more than just the first time that I go to a brother uh, who years ago I just would have cracked his jaw. You know what I'm saying? Or going to a brother who years ago, if it was somebody else that I would have just cracked your jaw, yo. It wouldn't have been no talk. It wouldn't have been no, yo, let's be for the brotherhood. And cats these days, this is a PSA for a lot of brothers that's around me, especially in these 7 cities where I'm from. If I'm coming to you and talking to you, brother, it's because I know the consequences of what I was gonna do. It had this been a few years back. You get what I'm saying? And I know the consequences of what you might do had it actually happened now. You get what I mean? So, because a lot of these brothers, let's be honest, y'all can go grab a gun these days. You get what I'm saying? Let's be honest, which I feel is pretty cowardly. But be happy that another brother is willing to come and talk things out with you. That ain't nothing feminine about that. It's the fact that some of y'all ain't never been arrested. Some of y'all ain't never took a trip to jail. Some of y'all ain't never had to face a hard penalty on your record. You know what I'm saying? Paying money to the state or the city, however it works, for a conviction. Some of y'all ain't never had a conviction on your record. And I'm not saying having a conviction is bragging rights, but what I am saying is being penalized. It's like learned helplessness. You know, that thing when they used to put the little collar on the dog try to do something, it shocks them. It's like that. You know what's about to happen if you do this. You know the chances of the increase, the risk that's being increased if you behave in such way. Because let's be honest, a lot of people these days, you get into it with them, they gonna call the police on you. They gonna get a restraining order. They gonna play victim. Even if it ain't somebody who's necessarily a coward or a punk. People just petty. And because people are petty, sometimes as brothers, we got to come together and talk things out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying talk things out so we can be friends. I'm saying talk things out like fool, I was about to go off on you. I was about to hit you in your mouth. I was about to punch you in your throat. And you would have said, oh, I would have grabbed that gun and shot you. Once again, pretty cowardly. Everything ain't got to be a gun. But I do understand where folks coming from, but I ain't never been the type of guy to get a gun for a one-on-one. You know what I'm saying, for one. And then for two, I don't like talking violently. So I'm going to come to you in a assertive and gentle way sometimes. And if I got to be firm, I'm going to come firm. I'm gonna talk like I'm talking right now. But nonetheless, appreciate my progress. Appreciate any dude that comes to you on some peaceful stuff, because that might be the dude you really need to watch out for. That might be the one who already know, like, yo, I'm finna get 30 years of my life away. What I'm about to do to you. And y'all need to appreciate that. But that's my testimony, y'all. That's my testimony. I had a few rides in the police car. I went to jail for a day. It wasn't even a full day. You know what I'm saying? I was there long enough to eat and everything. You know what I'm saying? They served me my food and all that. The cabbage, the cornbread really is like this. The juice was in the bag, all of that. Nah. But I didn't, when I say literally a day, I'm talking about literally a day. I didn't spend the night or nothing. It was just processing, sitting and waiting to talk to the magistrate. I don't know how cats keep getting locked up and locked up and locked up again, because when you in there, you already being how can I put it? Demask. You become a number. You know what I'm saying? You become a number, bro. You know what I'm saying? You become a number. You become a statistic. You become property. You get what I mean? So how is that demoralization helpful for us, for any man, for any woman? So that's all it took for me to wake up and get out here in front. Like, I spent a lot of time there. You know what I'm saying? I was in rehab center about 3 weeks. That was more scarier for me, because you don't do what they tell you to do, they gonna try to drug you up. You know what I'm saying? I pretend took the medicine because I ain't like the way it made me feel. It made me feel like a zombie, put me right to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So, and I saw fights in there. It was fights in there, y'all. It was fights in the rehab center, fights in the psychiatric place. It was fights, and I went crazy at that time. I was battling a depression, but it was fights. And the only reason I tell what I tell, because this might save somebody one day. This gonna help somebody one day. It don't take all that for you to snap back into it. But it took that for me to realize, for one, some folks ain't playing with you. Some folks are just petty, yo. You might get out here and say, okay, I'm gonna go knock on somebody's door. I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna go do that. Some people really not gonna square up with you. Some people not gonna grab a gun for you. Some people gonna call the police for the simplest things. You know what I'm saying? Like, a homie can get out here and bark at you, and you go find this homie in that city, and his lady might call the folks on you. He might tell his lady to call the folks. He might let his lady call the folks on you. You get what I'm saying? They sitting back laughing at you while you getting charged, while you paying money. Why? How do I know this? Because it happened to me. It happened to me more than once. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to be clear with y'all. Everybody ain't what you own. You know what I mean? And when I say that everybody ain't what you own, some people just want to see you do bad. And the quickest way to bring a brother down is to dial 911. Something, you know what I'm saying? Something. Next thing you know, the folks coming to get you. So be mindful of what you do. Be mindful of what you say. Be considerate when somebody's sharing information with you. You know, if somebody tell you, hey, look, you know, let's talk to each other a lot better. Let's be a little more peaceful about going about this. That's their warning. That is their warning. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't willing to respect people boundaries, respect people triggers, acknowledge that folks may have past traumas they still healing from, when you are around that person, either separate yourself, or if you love that person, improve yourself, because you improving yourself for that one person who's talking to you improves yourself for a whole community of people who may be going through that same thing. And one day you're going to need somebody to show you that they care enough and considerate enough of you, so that when they're around you, they can move more wiser. Because people do it all the time. Like, you know, you go to Chick-fil-A, you think everybody at Chick-fil-A love their job or they love you. Nah, but they exercise a certain etiquette that makes you want to keep coming back. They put the business first. And part of putting business first, they make their orders personable. But a lot of cats ain't on that these days. A lot of cats got ego. A lot of cats, man, you know, this just me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cats, they big and bad. They think they're tough. But toughness, and I like the dude that played Marcus in Why Did I Get Married? He was in a movie one time. He said, it's easy to fight. I forget what movie it was. But he said, it's even harder to be nonviolent. And that's something to think on for the day, because violence ain't the answer to everything. Sometimes working together, getting understanding, and moving harmoniously as God would have us is the answer. And if we can't move harmoniously, then we got to go our separate ways. Like Cat Williams said on Club Shay Shay, you got good side, and then you got the other side. You got God's side and then the other side. So what side you on? Who you moving like? Because the God I know ain't telling me to get out here and move the way I wanted to move years ago. The God out here telling me to move as I'm moving now. Keep it there.